more bugs and better loot quality, better loot drops, stuff like that. You can also have like a skill-based car with skill tests, which give you increase your points, or you get your points faster, or stuff like that. There are a lot of bonuses possible. So it's probably gonna be a bit of grinding to find like the parts that you want to put on your car. But the parts are swappable. So once you have like a car at the maximum level, you can just take them off, put that car back on stock, and if you have another car in that same discipline, for instance in street race, then you can just use the parts that you had on that one car, you can use them on the other car. No, not really. No, because you have, well, yeah, you have the parts, it's on the parts, but you also have like general perks.
Oh, nice.
But in the crew that were like, what was it, 181 or something?
Yes.
Yeah, well, in the crew 2 it will be somewhere between 900 and 1000.
What?
And they are called icon points now, and that means that you need to be level icon, which is sort of like level 5. You go like, you start anonymous and then you go to rookie, popular, famous, star, and then you're icon 1. And every time you level up in icon, you get 1 point. So before you will have all the perk points, somewhere between 900 and 1000, that means that you need to be icon 900 or icon 1000 before you will actually...
That sounds like a lot of grinding.
No, not really, because once you are, like for instance in the technical test, which we could play for like 4, 5, 6 days, something like that in general with these things. And we did not have a content block like in the alpha or the beta, so we could play whatever we wanted. And some of us were already like icon 120, icon 140, some of them, so...
Okay, so it is manageable with
Yeah, it goes pretty quickly. You do like, if you do like a hypercar race, which is, those are long races. You have like 3 races which are somewhere between 12 and 15 minutes, and one is like almost 45 minutes, I think. If you do that race, you will level up like 2 or 3 icon levels. You go for like, from icon 2, you suddenly are icon 4 or icon 5, so, which means, and every time you level up, you will get 1 point, which you can spend in one of 3 categories in your icon menu. But if you want to have all of them, which is somewhere between 900 and 1000, I think we, one of us at one point or another did the count, which means you need to be like, yeah. So it's a bit of a combination. In the beginning, you will not have many icon points or perk points to spend, so yeah, then you're going to use mainly the performance part bonuses. It's a bit double, eh? But that also means that, yeah, when you say, is it worth buying? Well, at this moment, not really. There's not competition, there's not PvP, but on the other hand, yeah, you need to get all of the cars. You need to, because if the game is new, it's different. Like for instance, in the crew 1, we have street spec and we have performance spec. And now they mix that up, eh? So you have street spec and performance spec cars mixed together, and it's called street race in the new game.
Oh yeah.
So you have like a Volkswagen Golf there, but you also have a Ferrari 458 in that.
Good luck with playing with such cars.
Yeah, so you have to, well, what we know so far from the technical test seems to be that the Lamborghini Huracan is going to be a bit of like the OP car in street race, because that's what's where like people like Michelle and Huayra and Paraglider and Hesto and so we're doing like really good times with it on the leaderboards. So we can assume that those are like one of the OP cars. But then I saw Michelle use the Ferrari F12 on one certain track where you can wall ride more or less. And I saw he was like smoking the Hurricanes. So it's possible that, for instance, the Ferrari F12 is like the new Impala with the wall riding capacities. But those are all things we need to test. And at the same time, you had a BMW 1000, Ducati Panigale, even the new Augusta bike. They were also showing up in the leaderboard. So the bikes and the cars seem to be balanced. So that's a good thing, because the bikes are really fun, I must say. So it's all a bit testing, and then you have like the rest of the performance cars. They have now dropped into hypercars category. So that's like a new discipline. And there you will find the Huayra and the LaFerrari, but you also have Ferrari FX6, which is supposed to be faster than the LaFerrari, I guess. You also have a Koenigsegg Regera, which probably is going to be faster than the Huayra. So you have like all that kind of things that need to be tested. So you probably need a few weeks and months to get all the cars, upgrade the cars, test them to see which is the faster. And then, yeah, when you have done all that in these 14, 15 different disciplines, you, by then you are ready for the PvP in December. So at this moment, there's not going to be much to do, but at the other hand, yeah, you have all these cars and boats you need to get and upgrade and test them to see which is the best before you can actually go to a PvP or multiplayer lobby. Because you can grow up from the beginning. You can grow up with your friends, crews of 4, not a problem. Oh yeah, he's like, he has a bit of a weirdo, this guy. So I don't know, it's a bit double. But yeah, I was looking at the trailer for Forza Horizon 4. Also, that doesn't seem to be much, eh?
Right. Yeah, it's basically Forza Horizon 3 was set in Great Britain, what I have seen.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. I thought, oh my god. I mean, even in the trailer, you have the Aston Martin Vulcan and the Bugatti Chiron, and you have the McLaren Senna.
Yeah, McLaren Senna, yes.
But other than those cars, everything that was in that trailer is like cars that we already have in Forza Horizon 3.
And even the same kits on some cars.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. And other than that, yeah, you can buy houses and you can get jobs. Yeah, that's fine. Also in the crew we have houses. So it's like it's we have been stealing ideas from each other, and the result of that is we have like 2 more or less medium games for like different reasons.
So they are stealing ideas from Test Drive Unlimited, alright?
Yeah, something like that. But from what I saw so far from Forza Horizon 4, it's not even. People say, oh, it's in the UK. Well, it's not even in the UK. It's mainly focusing on Scotland. By what I see from it. If you buy the Ultimate Edition, I've been looking in the Microsoft store. It's like €100. Ultimate Edition, and it gives you the game. It gives you a car pass because apparently there's already like a day 1 car pack. But if you have the Ultimate Edition, you get that, and you have and you get an expansion pass, which means that you will get the first 2 expansions. You're going to get free if you have the Ultimate Edition. But more than likely, if they build up the story in Scotland, yeah, then the first 2 expansions will probably be like England and Wales or something. The map is not going to be much bigger than Forza Horizon 3, so that for me that's also a problem. I mean, 10 minutes and you're around the map in Forza Horizon 3.
Yeah, yes, that's actually true.
And the biggest problem I have with this Forza is like I went racing there online, going to a lobby, get voted. You do 4 races every voting lobby, let's say. I win the 4 races and I finish 3rd in the lobby. I'm like, what the fuck? Because there was, some guy in the background was using a Horizon car, was drifting around like crazy, and he got like XP, and the whole leaderboard is based on XP points.
Oh,
so I'm like, okay, I'm out of here. And
not
then,
even a racing game, it's a show-off game.
Yeah, it's right. Yeah, it's nothing to do. It has to do with fun modes and stuff. You hit some fences, you drift about a bit. Even between the races, you have to drive from race A to race B, whatever that is. You have to drive there. So people are drifting, scoring XP points. It's all based on XP. So the game has potential, and yes, it has 500 cars. Yeah, that's fine. It indeed has 500 cars, but it's like 4 generations of Imprezas and 5 generations of Evos and 8 generations of Mustangs. Yeah, okay, yeah. Then you have like 500 cars in no time. That's true. But even that is worse in 4, because they have car list of 450 now. So they have 100 cars less than in Forza Horizon 3.
Well, Toyota isn't represented, right? I think.
No, but yeah, we had like we bought me and Mario, we bought Horizon 3 in December. So we have been playing that game for about 2 months, and then I was done with it because
Not really worth it.
yeah, then we went to the auction house, and yeah, there it turns out that you need to be like legend tuner or legend painter, one of the two. Which means we will need to be like designing like crazy, and then you have to create like 100, 150 designs, and you have to share them and unshare them every day, because it comes down to you need 50,000 downloads to get to the legend status. And if you are legend status, then you can buy whatever car, you can sell it whatever car you want for 20 million.
What?
If you are that's 5-star painter, so that's like what Mario is now. And if you are a legend painter, if you are what is it, pro painter, I think the something like that, that's like 4 stars. Yeah, and then you can ask like 500,000 more than somebody else. And if you are 3 stars, you can ask 100,000 more than somebody else. But the difference is like crazy. Yeah? So yeah, you have a car, and maximum buyout you have is like, let's say 200,000. If you are a 3-star, then you can ask 300,000 for it. If you are a 4-star, then you can ask 700,000 for it. And then if you are a legend, you can ask 20 million for it. It's like, what?
That's insane.
And Mario was like, yeah, he was totally into it. It suddenly was like, suddenly the crew was shite and everything was Forza for him. And he eventually made it to legend painter. And so he started buying, but he bought so many, because yeah, occasionally you have like these noobs posting their cars, and they have no idea what you're doing.
Oh yes.
They are like really
Good cars for.
yeah, like the Porsches, for instance. You cannot buy the Porsches in the game. They only come from like Forzathon, which is sort of a weekly challenge, and then you can win cars every week. And the Porsches are only in the Forzathon. So, but you have like these no kids. They have no idea what they're doing, and they put like 60, 70, or 100,000. They suddenly put like one of the unique Porsches on there. So you sort of have to scan the market and snap the good ones. And Mario had like, I don't know, I think he already like snapped about 150, 200 of those Porsches.
What?
And he just kept them in his garage. And then he was legend painter, and suddenly he could like ask 20 million for them, which he did, and that took like exactly 2 or 3 days, and he was on the maximum bucks. 900, almost 1 billion chips, and that he has now on his account. And then his auction garage is like full with, I don't know, 50, 60 cars, which he already sold for 20 million, but he cannot collect them because he's on the maximum bucks. So it's like, so he's totally done with the game now. So even if it's like, it takes a while, it takes a long work and a lot of effort to get to the legend status. And when you are the legend status, a few days later you're on the maximum bucks and you cannot do anything anymore. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna buy a Forza Horizon 4. It's €100 for more of the same crap.
Yeah, it doesn't appeal to me as well.
No. And yeah, if I would not, but yeah, you need to play something, right?
Oh,
But in my case, I only play racing games, so yeah, it's either this or that,
yeah,
or both of them.
Have you tried Dirt Rally?
Yeah, I have Dirt Rally, but yeah, seeing I play on a keyboard is a bit tricky.
Oh yeah, playing on a keyboard.
But yeah, Dirt Rally is definitely. I bought Dirt Rally and I played that. I skipped Dirt 4 because that's too arcade for me. That's total bullshit. But Dirt Rally, but yeah, rumor is they're working on Dirt Rally 2, so that would be cool. At this moment, I'm playing WRC 7.
Oh, yes, I
Well,
have this.
like I only forgot to play last weekend. Bit of a problem because I was playing esports and we had done like 9 rallies out of 13. And this weekend it was rally number 10 and I completely forgot about it.
Oops.
So I have no score in the esports event this weekend.
So, not likely to be at the top.
Oh, but no, I'm just trying to get in the top 100. Then I'm already happy.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I mean, you're up against people like John Armstrong, real rally drivers. And Histo is up there, and they're forming a team because this year you have teams now as well of four drivers.
Oh.
So yeah, you have like Histo and then the guy that won the car, because You have an esports event, and at the end of the year, the top 8 gets invited to a real live event.
Oh yeah, Paraglider was there as well.
Yeah, in the first year, and last year didn't make it. He finished 16th or something. He was not there. But Hesto and Subby and so they have been there for like 2 years in a row now. And last year it was that Nixel, I think, French dude that won. He won the. It's a real car. First prize is a real car.
I think the I-20 or I-10. Something
Yeah,
like
yeah, or something. It's sponsored by Hyundai, so something Hyundai. And but now it's like, yeah, Nexel is there again, and Hesto is there, and Sabi, and also John Armstrong. Like he's a real rally driver, so probably the final is going to be like between those 3-4 people. But and then yeah, some other guys still in the top 8. But I just try to get into the top 100, which I so far have managed to get with like I don't know 43rd or so being the best, I think.
that's pretty good for keyboards.
Yeah, exactly. See, I'm up against Pats and mainly wheel drivers, I guess.
And wheel is faster, I guess.
Yeah. Obviously. Yeah, and it's cross-platform, but there's one guy who more or less keeps up with the PC, and that's a PS4 player, I think. But like Xbox is not in the top 20. Eh? Most of the top players are on PC.
As is expected, because
Yeah, it's
PC is
kind
a
of
superior platform, as we all know.
normally it is, but yeah, never know.
Game developers think other. Seem
Well,
to
yeah, I
think
believe, but also in Dirt 4, I believe there was they came up with some sort of esport events.
which
That
is
was
weird because I think it would be more fitting to Dirt Rally.
Yeah, but yeah, yeah, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
Dirt Rally, I don't think you can do it. Yeah, you might be able to do an esports event, but that's more like, yeah, that's what is that? That's Simcade more, huh? Sort of half sim, half arcade. WRC is more arcade, Dirt 4 definitely more arcade. But yeah, the rumors are more and more rumors are coming out that like they're working on Dirt 2, which would be great. But we'll
What
see.
are the true sims on PC though?
The really sims are like
iRacing?
yeah, iRacing, R Factor,
Assetto Corsa maybe, yes.
yeah,
Is
sort
the
of like that.
releasing
But
new
that's
game.
it's more about track racing. That's a problem. Huh?
Yeah, they don't have the rally events and such in there.
Project Cars, yeah, maybe that has rally cross and also track racing.
Oh yeah, true, I forgot.
That's might be, but like something like open world, yeah, that's too the maps are too big, especially like in the crew. The map is too big to get that like make that really sim. It's like always going to be arcade, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm okay with that. But this year, I don't know. It was supposed to be a great year for like for racing games. We had the Crew 2 coming, you had Forza Horizon 4, and
Oh,
I'm a bit disappointed in both of them to be honest, for
well,
different
yeah,
reasons.
me too, to be honest. The Forza,
The Crew 2 is like, yeah, the problem for me is like the map already. Yeah, we've been playing for 2.5 years on that map. You know it inside out. You get the same map.
I'm surprised they didn't move it to another map, but then again, they would need to work on the map, which they probably do not want.
Yeah, but now they rebuilt the whole map from scratch. So they also had to build the map again.
Then
So why not? I don't know why.
Yeah, why?
Then Forza is the opposite. They have the new map. New map. They have a different location. Let's call it that. But then everything else seems to be the same what we already had. So it's like I don't know. Maybe I've told it before this week. Like these two companies put them together, and you might end up with like a pretty good game. But
When they were like on their own games,
yeah, they're just stealing ideas from each other, and you basically get the same. Huh? The Crew has like a bigger map. It has way more discipline. Because like, yeah, you have street, you have drift, you have drag, you have hypercars. That's only for the street family. And then off-road you have rally raid, motocross, and rallycross. And then you also have the helicopter, which you can fly there. And then in freestyle you have aerobatic planes and monster trucks and jet sprint boats. Those things are fun as hell as well. And then the hovercraft, which will be a discipline on its own with the first upgrade in September. And then in the pro racing you have air race planes and power boats or offshore boats and touring cars, and then the Formula One car. You have
Oh yeah.
the Red Bull and the yeah, but I've tested both of them. I think that actually that futuristic things that they made themselves, the GP Alpha, is actually faster or better than the Red Bull.
Oh really?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
But that was like playing around with them, not fully upgraded. That's why I say if you want to buy it, go for it, because you need to test all these cars and it's gonna take quite a while to upgrade and yeah, and by that time we are September, then you will have the hovercrafts and then and we're also part of the TPS PvP, which means that there will be some sort of technical test before December, so like September, October, and we will be invited and we will actually be able to play the PvP and test the PvP and give them feedback in. But we'll see how it goes. When we were there in March, they said to us that they were going to invite us, like the 8 people that were there, were going to invite us to some sort of new Discord channel, and then the idea was to expand that group to like one large feedback group, which would always be there to test stuff, to talk to the devs and such like that. But we'll see, because they're not the fastest around, let's call it that. We were there and they said like, oh yeah, one of the next days we will send you a feedback thing, like some sort of questionnaire you had to fill in, about the workshop. But yeah, I think that took like 2 weeks before, 2-3 weeks before we actually got that mail. So yeah, if they're going on that pace, I don't expect Discord to be there like till September, October or whatever. But yeah, meanwhile I made a couple of critical videos and I spoke my mind as always. So I'm also not so sure that I'm going to get invited again.
I think you should get invited since you have been there already. So.
Yeah, but since then I've been even more critical.
Oh.
Yeah, because we gave all kind of feedback there and they have done zip with it, nothing.
Really?
So far. Then it's like, yeah, but you need to give us time, and like time damaging, like working headlights. You know that for 3 years the forums are full of it. Like people are complaining for 3 years that the headlights were not working, and now we have the crew 2, and then you had some other players there like, but you just mentioned it in March. They cannot get that together by June, and that's true. But it's not like they didn't know it. They already know 3 years that they need to work ahead. But now, they fix it. Ubisoft's way, they fixed it. They have like
way to fix is to remove it.
Yeah, they just brightened up the cities like crazy. You have street lights, you have neons, and the whole cities is like one big giant lit Christmas tree. So you don't have a problem there seeing because of those lights. But if you go at night, you go off road with some kind of jeep or whatever, in the woods, you don't see anything because these headlights are. I think they're even worse than in the crew 1.
Oh, I thought that was not even possible.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is. Trust me.
Wow.
So it is like they work. If you look from the outside, the headlights they shine, and you even like you see a little bit in front of your car if you have like bumper cam or hood cam. But if you're in cockpit view, which is in a way is improved in the crew 2. So I'm driving a lot of races in cockpit view there now, and once it turns night, you don't see anything because I don't know, the camera seems to be too low so that you don't see from your headlights. It's like, I don't know.
And you cannot even adjust the seating position in the cockpit
Nope, you cannot adjust anything. Like the headlights, if you could or put high beams on or something, that would be great. And the strange thing is, they can make it work because on that helicopter, you can fly that. You cannot upgrade that thing, so I don't think it's going to be like a new discipline. It's just one of those vehicles that you win if you beat the champion of that specific headquarters. And so you have the helicopter, and there is like a spotlight underneath it, and that lights up like half a forest.
Oh.
So that's so strong and so bright. So they can do it because on the helicopter they can it, then they should be able to do it on the car as well. It was like a guy in the workshop. He said, "Well, can't we use the spotlight from the helicopter and put it on the roof of the car? Then we can actually see where we're going."
I mean, he's right.
we had some fun there, but not always like we had some fun, and the devs were not always like laughing with what we said. But we had a point though. We had definitely had some points there. It's funny as hell. But yeah, then we meanwhile we moved from TeamSpeak to Discord, and now you also have like a PvP tournament in Discord itself.
In this very.
No, not here, but in the one of the other servers. You have the Crew
Oh yeah,
Colosseum.
the wait, where is it? I cannot find it. It
Yeah, you
was
have like you have the
group
Crew
photo.
server, and then they have made an extra server for PvP tournaments, which is called the Crew Colosseum.
Oh.
And there you could register, but like yeah. Last month in the final was kind of funny.
How come?
Well, yeah, first there were like I think there were 14, 15 players something last month. So we had like two groups. It was like first we had a semi-final. And I was in a group with Hesto and Paraglider and a couple of other players. And then Huayra was in the other group. And then last second he suddenly could not play in the other group. Like it was like 24 hours, not even I think, before he needed to play. He said like, oh, something he had in real life. And so they didn't think of anything better than like to just move into our group. So suddenly I had a group with Huayra, Hesto, Paraglider, me, and a couple of others. And only the top 3 went to the final. So I thought like, yeah, Jesus, do I even need to start here?
Should I even try?
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, eventually I drove because it was like 9 races and you get points in every race. So you never know, they might made up a mistake, but nope, they didn't, of course. It was like Huayra 1, Hesto 2, Paraglider 3, Race Master Dave 4 in that. So I didn't make it. And then the final is a 2-hour PvP session. And they ended up doing like, I think 22 races.
That's kind of a lot.
Yeah, you can pick your race whatever you want, but each race can only be done once. So once somebody has picked the race, well the system picks the race, but once it's picked, then you cannot use that again. So and also no crowd, no blitz, and no little eagles, ovals, no ovals, crap. Yeah, and then we had like 22 races, and Huayra won 19 of them.
What?
With people like Yolobolo and Hesto and Paraglider and 19 races for Huayra. If that guy is not cheating, then I don't know.
Well, where was Michelle then?
Well, Michelle's not driving in this thing. I don't know why. And so now now it's even worse, of course, because now Huayra is the May champion. So he's the defending champion. He's automatically qualified for the final for this month.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm already out because I had like they had a great idea now because I think there were 25 or 26 people for June registered. So you have to register and then you have to fill in a doodle form for like with all the dates and times that you can play during the month. And then based on that, they come up with a schedule. And but in the qualifying stages, you sort of go by like you get a map, huh? You get a certain map pool, and so you know in advance which races you're gonna do, so you can practice on those things. But yeah, with like in the first stage, it was only 3 races. Yeah, only 3, and we had like Coastal Clash, street race, and then a dirt eliminator, I think. No, a raid eliminator, and then Vegas Descent.
Oh yes.
It's like probably the worst races they could pick, because. But yeah, it already started. The crap already started. So it's like Coastal Clash, and I'm in a group with 6 people. One guy turned out to be Xbox, so he was disqualified already before we started, and the other guy did not show up. So we were 4 people there, and I had who was in my Triplo? No, Eldario, Maquez, Too Bad to Drive. So we start, and we had been practicing on that track, and I did the fastest times with the mini, with the keyboard.
Yes.
So I pick a mini. Maquez also picks the mini, and the other 2 guys take the Skyline. And the race, we go to the racetrack, and we arrived there, and it was like, oh my god, it's raining. So yeah, we got smoked by the 4-wheel drive Skylines in our minis. So yeah, it was already game over. Because if you don't make the top 3 in these races, with that short format, only 3 races. Yeah,
It's game over, yes.
yeah. I finished just behind my cat, so I finished 4th in the first race. Then in the eliminator, I was 3rd. And then I was doing the math on that thing, and I was like, I had 11 points, and the guy in 3rd place had 14 points. So that last race didn't even matter anymore. So I thought, what kind of a setup is this shit? I could not qualify anymore for the top 3, so I thought like, okay, never mind. I was lead, and well, the only way I could qualify was if I won the race, and then the guy in 3rd place in the ranking, then he should have finished like last.
Yeah.
And I start the race, and Marquez, I don't know what he did. I think he spun out or something, or missed a checkpoint. El Dario, one of the resets, did not work on Vegas Descent, so he was behind as well. Yeah, so I was leading the race, and I'm look behind me, and there's like, yeah, the guy in 3rd place, he's right behind me. So we are the 2 leading cars, and then we have the jump coming up, and I just drove straight into the rock, and I thought, fuck it. Yeah, I was doing okay, I could win the race, but that guy behind me, he should not be there, because then I could not win, so I thought, okay. So I just hit the rock, I missed the jump, I missed the shortcut, and I just slowly drove to the finish and finished 4th and done with it. And then the other group also drove. So we have like, I think the results are still here on the Discord here somewhere. We have now, on the first group, we have Light 1, Paraglider, and Crew Hans Grans. And from our group, we have El Dario, Too Bad to Drive, and Marquez. And that's sort of like semi-final number 1, which will take place. But the Group C and Group D, they still have to drive. That's like Thursday and Friday, I believe. And in Group D, we have like Jens here, Mario as well, I think.
And show up?
I don't know if he's gonna show up. He knows about it. He knows about it because I sent him a text message on the phone, and then he showed up here on Discord, and we talked about it, and we have trained on the track. So he knows he needs to. I think it's Thursday for him. At 5 p.m. I believe. Then he needs to drive. He knows that he needs to drive. So, but I don't know. I'm not sure if he's gonna show up. Not sure what's going on with him. Something is for sure. But I can also not ask him because we don't see him anymore.
Yeah, that's.
But I'm assuming. But yeah, he was there on Thursday, and then on Friday we needed to drive already. Linda, Forever Pink. I don't know if you know her. She needed to drive in Group A, and I needed to drive 2 hours later in Group B. So it was on Friday, and he said, "Yeah, I will show up and I will have a look, because these things are live streamed. You can follow that on live stream.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're live streamed on Twitch by the host. And I think the races are still up there now. Oh yeah, they're up there. If you scroll up a bit, you have like Group A results and Group B results.
The text chat, I assume.
So, and that's a guy who's streaming. He will also be streaming on Thursday and on Friday for the other 2 groups. So you can always find it on his channel, these races. And then yeah, and then the last group is. But I bet from what I heard so far is that there are also some problems with the other groups. And then I read somewhere that maybe even me and Linda, and so the people that didn't make it to the semi-finals, that they might still have a chance, because there's apparently a problem with the other groups as well, like people not showing up, or they redraw or something like that. But we'll see.
Certainly interesting.
Yeah, it's an interesting feature. Michelle wanted to play, but he didn't register, so yeah, that's a bit hard then. Huh?
I'm surprised he didn't register, seeing him as I see him play the crew as of now.
Yeah, but yeah, this is sort of like this is what's been going on. Apparently, in April they had, I don't know, what had they, 12 or so, or 9, so not that many players. And then yeah, the word Paraglider did a video on it. That's how I found out, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna join. So I joined in May, and then we had 14, 15 players, and now we have 25 or 26, I think. So it's like they needed to do an extra round, like a quarterfinals first.
Yeah, so it's increasing.
Yeah, so yeah, but this was like the final one, because at the end of the month it's the crew 2. But the idea is to do some sort of competition in the crew 2 as well, so we'll see.
That's gonna be interesting.
You can still make crews of 4, so it's like, yeah, this sort of works in like private PvP mode. You have 6 or 7 players in a lobby, and then of course the 8th player he's not really driving, but he needs to be there. That's like the host.
Yeah, that's the host. Yes.
He needs to do the points and stuff. but we'll see how it evolves. Well, yeah, I'm out now at least for now, for June. But so one half semi-final is already known, and then the other one. Let's have a look. Who plays? So you have Dead Man Walking. Don't really know him.
Don't really know.
You have Mr. Painful. That's Lol Bokus. That's his second driver because yeah, his main driver is banned. Then you have Velastor, so it's Mario in that group,
Yeah,
and
that's
then you
Mario.
have a Hobgoblin. That name rings a bell. I think I ran into him in PvP once or a while, but not really. Then you have Group Psycho, which is Jens
Yeah.
here,
Yes, yeah.
and then you have
Spell.
Triplo. So it's like, I don't know. I'm assuming that Triplo is going to win that lobby for sure.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, that's like yeah, it's a bit less than a Huayra, but sort of same style. So normally he's gonna win that lobby pretty easy.
Oh, I see.
And then I think it's going to be between like Dirk, Mario, maybe Jens, and then the other two I don't know, but I don't think they're that good. So normally Mario definitely has a chance getting to the top three to the semifinals. And then the last group is also an interesting one. It's like Yola Bolo and Huayra in one group.
I
But
thought Huayra was invited directly.
But the problem I have with Huayra here is like he's the defending champion. He's automatically qualified for the final. So it does not make much sense that he's playing in the quarterfinal here.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That I'm surprised he's in the quarterfinal.
Yeah, it was the same last month with Yola Bolo. He was the April defending champion, and it was the same. But the problem is they're interfering. They're driving there, so you get slipstream from them or.
Yeah, they take up the places as well.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. They don't get points. Well, they get points, but the points do not count.
Oh, okay.
So like in that group, Huayra will not count. So there are still 3 spots open there.
Yeah, but he can give slipstream to select
Yeah,
players.
that's the problem.
Oh,
So
I mean,
probably Yola Bolo is going to win that lobby because he's like the only one who can more or less keep up with Huayra, although a bit behind, but he can keep up. So he's gonna get slipstream from him. And then I don't know, probably Craftmaster. That's Max.
no idea who that is.
Yeah, that's Catweasel here, who's now playing Euro Truck. They're here in our
Oh yeah,
Cheater Eater, Catweasel, Craftmaster, Interceptor. I think he has like eight accounts or something.
8 accounts.
Yeah, and not like from free accounts. He actually bought 8 accounts. He's like completely, and he just plays for fun. But he just like wanted to do the story again, so he bought an extra version or stuff like that. And then we have Gidew. He's not that super good. And we have I don't know him, but he's like, I know him from previous month's qualifier, so he didn't make it to the final, so I don't think he's that good. All Mania Rangst or something like that. No idea who that is. And Flexify. Also never heard of them. So I'm assuming it's gonna be like in that group. It's gonna be Huayra, Yola Bolo, and Craftmaster probably. Semi-finals, and they will play against the group from Mario and so. But we'll see.
We will see, indeed. And when is the groups played? On Wednesday and Friday? Yes.
No, it depends a bit. It's on like for instance, the first group played last Friday at 3 p.m. our Central European time, and then the second group was my group. That was at 5 p.m. And then the third group plays June 14 at 5 p.m. That's Mario's group.
Yeah.
So that's Thursday, I think.
Yeah, that's Thursday indeed.
And then the Huayra group plays on 7 p.m. on the 15th. So that's Friday at 7 p.m.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
And that's like quarterfinals, huh? And then they are going to. Well, the pool is already. I saw. Let's have a look through 2 Colosseum. Where is it?
The seedings.
No. The pool is already known
the
for
pool.
the semifinals. So let's see. Will be a street race, Detroit tour. It will be a forest loop, dirt race, damn fast, a performance rate, cemetery circuit, a rate race. Oh my God, that's that's the one with the airplanes all over the place.
Oh my God, I hate that one.
And then and Highway 1 circuit race. Okay.
Oh wow. Highway 1. How
Shortcut. Shortcut.
I
In
wonder
case,
who's gonna pull it off.
let's have a look. And
I
in
want.
case there is a tie in this course, which is possible, of course, if
Yes.
there's a tie, there a tiebreaker event will be played. That is South Coast Shootout, Performance Eliminator,
Mhm.
No Place Like Home, which is a raid eliminator, and the Emerald City, which is a circuit eliminator.
Super.
3 players in each group will join the reigning champion Huayra in stage 3. Oh yeah, so you have like Huayra is automatically qualified for the final,
Mhm.
and then 3 players from each of the semifinals will move on. So you have like 7 players in the final then. And the final is probably, as always, that's like 2 hours of PvP.
Oh wow.
And in April they ended up doing like 19 races. Yeah, depends a bit on how fast the lobby goes and how fast they select the events and
That's
stuff like.
facts.
But yeah, May was a bit of a joke. 22 races and the Wire won 19. No, but I was watching that live stream. I saw some strange things happening there. Like, and everybody does 438, 439 kilometers an hour in the Ferrari because
What?
that's like the slipstream top speed. The damn thing's on the limiter, and then you see Huayra drive around, and he's doing 444. So he
Well,
gets
maybe.
like 5 kilometers an hour more out of that Ferrari. Stuff like that. I mean, yeah. Sorry, but that for me that's enough. I've seen enough. When I see that, then I've seen enough. That guy's cheating. Simple. As I've already been like.
I forgot what bonuses we use. I think it was top speed normally.
Yeah, 1299 stop, but yeah, people are using 1497 now.
More downforce or.
No, it gives top speed as such is the same, but it gives a bit more more grip, which
Yeah,
works for some cars, for others not. Like for instance, in my case, I don't like it on the Huayra. I brought it back to 1299. The Ferrari XA, I brought it back to 1299. But most people just drive 1497. Yeah, it's right.
199 is
Yeah, well, yeah, not all. Like for instance, the more grip, it will help for like for the American shit cars because they're wheel spilling all over the place. If you give them a little bit more grip, yeah.
well, who plays with these? Honestly.
Yeah, but sometimes you have to wait, like in some
Well,
things or something. Yeah. You already know why I was gonna win that.
is he going to cut though? Is he
Yeah,
going
yeah.
to jump?
Yeah, but also Yolo Bolo cuts and then he misses the bridge and then yeah, where it's gone.
Oh yeah. I wonder what time do they get? Like stop before 20?
Yeah, they do. Didn't they do? Owara has videos up and Michelle is also still driving. I think Michelle did 426 solo.
I think I did 418 with Michelle. 419 that is.
Yeah, but they're doing. Owara posted a couple of weeks ago, I think. He posted a video because they're when they're bored, they're attacking now. I think 416 or 414 they are now. Meanwhile. Yeah, like crazy.
There is some weird shit going on in there.
Yeah. If you see those 2 ghosts, it's like crazy. Yeah? It's like magnetic. Those 2. They also did like what is that? Miami Bound, the one with 34 starts on the Key West and you go all the way. They also did that. That was like you should see that video. It's like magnetic. They are inside each other the whole track. And that thing has sharp corners here and there. It's like crazy.
You said about the video. I see this video.
Yeah, on the virus channel.
On Mars. How old is the video?
No, not that far, not that. Let me check. Let me see if I can find it. I need to look for it as well because I'm not subscribed to that idiot. I think. I'll log on to be sure. Maybe I'll be able to get there from. I think I can cut to Michelle's channel.
Yeah, I can send you.
It might be possible that I am. Oh yeah, I am subscribed. actually, Survivor.
Yeah, they're really good.
See with
I put it in the text.
the strips out. Oh yeah, also in the crew too, they're like already
Already
smoking everybody. Yeah. Yeah. It's like here, escape test in the crew. Whoever already used the drag car is doing like 86,770 meters. While the goal is like get away for 1,500 meters or something. He does 86 kilometers. He drives in a drag car.
Well, it takes 10 minutes for him to do that.
I'm looking here, but
Wait, how does he not heat up the tires when he's...
yeah, that is always something that I do not get. Highway 1 in 414. No walls, no cuts.
What the fuck?
Here is the video.
Well, no cuts, no video,
Oh,
but a lot of
sorry.
stuff.
What
Yeah.
the fuck? Remove, please. Fucking posting on the wrong channel. There you go.
And I thought sub 420 with Michelle was alright.
Yeah, I see a second car there. I'm assuming it's with Michelle.
Yeah, it is. I pay for WinRAR, I can see it from
Yeah.
miles away. Nice.
But those two are like, yeah. It's just like looking at the speeds in the corners. They have more speed than anybody else, especially Wyra. So I don't know.
What?
I think that my guess is they're using some sort of, especially Wyra, using some sort of ground mod or something, which gives them like a bit more acceleration, a bit more grip. Doesn't really, it's hard to detect, but you just see it if you compare his videos with other people's video. Obviously not for me, I'm playing on a keyboard, but there are other wheel drivers out there like Jeanette and so. They don't get that high speed in the corner than he does. So I'm guessing he's using something, alright.